There is a roll of film sitting on Amazon right now for $15. It attaches to the inside of any window in your home. It requires no tools, no contractor, no permit, and no service contract. It blocks up to 80% of incoming solar heat before that heat ever enters your living space. Your air conditioner stops fighting your own windows every afternoon, and your electricity bill drops measurably within the first billing cycle after installation. NASA engineers documented this in 1972. Federal building managers read the report and quietly made solar control film the standard specification for every government facility upgrade across the United States by the early 1980s. The Empire State Building retrofitted its entire facade with this film and documented a 68% reduction in solar heat gain across the treated surface. The payback period on the full installation cost was under 1 year. The General Services Administration, which manages every federal building in America, has required this film as standard specification for more than 30 consecutive years. Your utility company has never mentioned any of this in an email, a newsletter, or a summer energy saving tips bulletin, not once in 50 years. The $60 billion residential energy efficiency industry sells you smart thermostats, attic insulation contracts, HVAC replacement systems, annual service agreements, and professional energy audits. A $15 roll of film you apply yourself in 30 minutes with no licensed contractor required fits nowhere inside that revenue model. And what cannot generate recurring revenue will never appear in the marketing materials of an industry that depends on your bill remaining exactly where it is. This is the story of the window film that NASA proved works in 1972, that every federal building in America has been using for decades, and that the energy industry made sure you would never search for while you paid 50 years of preventable summer electricity bills. Welcome to Forbidden Camping. If these stories matter to you, the subscribe button and the bell are the best way to make sure this knowledge survives. This is where we open the vaults the industry welded shut. To understand why this film performs the way it does, you need to understand what is actually happening at the molecular level every time afternoon sunlight hits an unprotected window in your home. When solar radiation reaches glass, 3 simultaneous processes occur. A small fraction reflects off the outer glass surface. A second fraction is absorbed into the glass material itself. The remaining fraction, which in standard residential glass represents the majority of incoming solar energy, passes through the glass unchanged and strikes interior surfaces. Furniture, flooring, walls, ceilings. On contact with any interior surface, that transmitted solar radiation converts entirely into heat. This is the residential greenhouse effect, and it is happening continuously behind every unprotected window in your home during every hour of direct sun exposure. The United States Department of Energy quantified this precisely. In hot climate regions, up to 40% of total interior heat load enters a home directly through windows, not through inadequately insulated walls, not through the roof, not through gaps in the building envelope, through unprotected glass. The Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory measured solar heat transfer through standard unshaded south-facing and west-facing windows at up to 250 BTUs per square foot per hour during peak afternoon sun exposure. That thermal load is equivalent to a 1,000-watt electric resistance heater operating at full continuous output behind every single unprotected window during every afternoon of every summer season. Your air conditioner is not combating the outdoor temperature when it runs during summer afternoons. It is running against the heat that your own windows are actively generating inside your living space. The average American household pays $1,200 annually across all electricity usage categories. The Department of Energy attributes 44% of that total to temperature control, with cooling representing the dominant fraction in states with significant summer heat loads. In Florida, Texas, Arizona, and across the American South, the cooling fraction is substantially higher. A home with 4 unprotected west-facing windows generates between $700 and $1,000 in unnecessary annual cooling costs from solar heat gain alone. That is heat that was never supposed to enter the structure, and that your air conditioning system is being paid to remove every single summer. Before I continue, I need to stop and tell you something important. This video is only the surface of what the industry has hidden from you. I spent months collecting everything they buried into one place. Eugenol-based pest elimination that kills rat colonies permanently and severs their pheromone recruitment trails for under $5. Kitchen cabinet restoration chemistry that professional painters use as their first step on every job and never mention to the homeowner. Rust conversion compounds the U.S. military deployed across 3 war theaters in 1943 that the auto industry repackaged at 15 times the cost. Drain cleaning chemistry that eliminates every household clog for under $1 using 2 grocery store ingredients. All of it is inside the complete Forbidden Camping Vault. Over 10 guides in one place. No filler. Oh, every page built for immediate action. The link is in the description right now. But stay here, because the documented history of how this technology was kept invisible from residential homeowners for 50 years is the heaviest part of this vault. In 1972, a physicist working at NASA's Johnson Space Center was studying metallic thin film coatings originally developed for spacecraft thermal management in orbit. The application was straightforward. Spacecraft need to reject solar heat in the vacuum of space where convection does not operate. The metallic film reflects solar radiation before it can be absorbed into the spacecraft structure. The physicist asked what happened when that same reflective principle was applied to the windows of buildings on Earth. The experiment was conducted. The results were published that year in NASA Technical Report TND 7492. A metallic window film reflected up to 78% of incoming solar radiation before that radiation converted to heat in the interior. The cooling load on the facility dropped immediately and measurably. No moving parts, no power consumption, no recurring maintenance requirement, a passive film that intercepted solar radiation at the glass surface before it became a thermal problem inside the structure. Federal facilities managers read that report. Government buildings began adopting the technology. By the early 1980s, solar control window film was standard specification for all federal building upgrades across the United States under the General Services Administration's building program. Commercial real estate followed. Skyscrapers in every major American city received the upgrade because building owners operate on calculated return on investment timelines, and the payback period on window film installation is measurable within the first year of operation. The Empire State Building completed a comprehensive window film retrofit as part of a major building renovation. The documented result was a 68% reduction in solar heat gain across the treated building facade. Full installation cost was recovered in under 12 months through reduced cooling expenditure. The data was published. It is publicly available. For the residential housing market, for the 140 million households whose occupants pay monthly electricity bills to utility companies, nothing happened. 50 consecutive years of summer electricity bills accumulated while the solution sat on a shelf, fully validated by government research, widely deployed in commercial and federal buildings, and completely invisible in any utility company communication, any government energy efficiency program aimed at residential consumers, or any contractor recommendation made during any home energy audit conducted in the United States. The mechanism of that invisibility is not complicated. Solar control window film costs $15 to $25 per window in material. A homeowner applies it in under 30 minutes per window using dish soap, water, and a rubber squeegee. No licensed contractor is required. No permit is needed. No annual inspection. No service contract. No recurring cost of any kind. The film performs its documented function for up to 10 years before replacement. A single purchase solves the problem for a decade.